wants to race through the skies to get what I want, to reach what I need. Part of my soul wants to race through the skies to get what I want, to reach what I need. On the top of the mountain, my troubles so small, I reach so high to embrace it all. On the top of the mountain, my troubles so small, I reach so high to embrace it all.
Hello, Om Shanti.
Om
Good
Shanti
evening,
Didi.
everyone.
Om Shanti Didi.
Shanti Didi.
Om Shanti Didi.
Om Shanti Didi.
Shanti.
Didi.
Om Shanti Didi. Om Shanti. Om Shanti Didi.
Om Shanti Didi.
So let us start.
Om Shanti Didi. Yes.
So who's going to start?
Om Shanti Didi
Ambika?
and everyone.
Om Shanti Didi. Yes, Didi.
A very warm welcome to one and all present here. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Yesterday, our Honorable and ethical BK Shivika Didi taught us how to become an ideal role player. Yesterday, we learned that the things that we do, that is our role play. The soul has 7 innate qualities, and the soul is also made from 7 qualities. Those 7 qualities are knowledge, purity or cleanliness, love, peace or harmony, happiness, bliss or joy, willpower or confidence. We learn that when we do meditation, we connect to the Supreme Soul who is filled with these 7 virtues and also fills us with 7 virtues. We should have the knowledge of ourselves and our destination. There are 2 types of cleanliness. One cleanliness that is from inside and the another one is from outside. Cleanliness from inside means that we are pure, our mind is pure, our soul is pure, we have good thoughts. And cleanliness from outside is that we wear clean clothes, we take a bath every day, we do brush and many other things. We should shift our awareness from body consciousness to the soul consciousness. If we are body conscious, then we compare ourselves. We get divided and become slave of desires. We have the fear of death. But if we are soul conscious, then we accept everyone. We have the unity. We become the master of our senses, not the slave. And we become aware of eternity. Whatever we do, just be soul conscious. Soul is an energy. It neither can be created nor destroyed. The soul cannot be cutted by the sword, burnt by the fire, blown by the wind, or get wet by the water. There are 3 worlds: corporeal world, where we live. It is also known as Sakar Lok. The corporeal world is made up of 5 elements. The soul comes from Paramdham and performs its actions here. Then in corporeal world, which is Paramdham and also known as Nirakar Lok. This world of golden red self, luminous light, is abode of all the souls. It is known as Paramdham, Shanti Dham, Soul World, Nirvan Dham, Mukti Dham, and many more. This we are an actor in this world drama stage. So awareness as an actor, world drama is a stage. Awareness as a guest, world as a guest house. Coming to earth and going back to Paramdham is the continuous process. And there's one more world between the corporeal world and incorporeal world, which is subtle world. It is also known as Sukshma Lok, place of bright white light, subtle body of light in angelic form. And there are many more talks which teaches us that how to become an ideal player. Now we all students welcome BK Shivika Didi with beautiful flowers and greetings with one hand.
Thank you so much.
Om Shanti.
Okay.
Didi.
Om Shanti. So I'm now muting all of you. Okay, so we shall be starting our day 5 session now. And as you are all aware, we have gone through the concepts of the soul. We have seen a lot of things. We have heard each and everything about soul. And if you still have doubts and confusion about what is exactly a soul and how it looks like, we still are open for questions and you can ask me. Okay. But now, as we move on, we are now going to listen about God. Who is God? Where is God? Is there any God? Or we ourselves are God? So where is the place the God lives? And is the God omnipresent? So there are many questions in our minds, many questions that we ask. So what is the reality of God? Who he is and what role he plays on this eternal world drama stage? As we all now have understood that we all are role players. So does God also has to play a role? Is he also assigned a role? Then what is that role? And what is God's occupation? What is the purpose of God? Do I need God or not? So there are many questions like these. So we shall be answering all your questions in today's session and the coming session of tomorrow. So let us all see what exactly are the misconceptions about God that are right now present in the world, and how we can answer, how we can judge for our own self that what is right and what is wrong. So today's session is very important. Okay, so let me just share with you the presentation of today. Here we are. So as you all are seeing that the question that we ask on a daily basis. So the questions that we already discussed: who is God? What is the need of God? What can I get from God? What is my relationship with the God? Has God benefited me ever? So these are the questions that most of the time people ask, and these questions come into the minds of children also. And we have been asking a lot of these questions from our parents. So sometimes the parents are capable enough of answering these questions, but sometimes they themselves don't know what to answer. So these are few questions based on spirituality, which, are very much inside us, and we are very inquisitive to know that who is the master of this universe, who is the one who's running everything. Sometimes people say, are we the puppets in the hand of God? So are we really the puppets in the hand of God? Whatever is happening in this world, Who created it and who's running it? Was the corona sent by God or by nature? What actually was responsible for all those things that are happening in the world right now? So who's moving everything? So these are lot many questions that we all ask on a daily basis and think on a daily basis. Now, let us see what are these misconceptions, or we can't say the misconceptions, but the concept of God that we all now have understood, or we are made to understand that what exists in the world right now. So, for example, when we ask someone who is God, then we believe that God are in the form of these deities. So you must have heard that there are so many deities in Hindu religion. When we talk about Hindu religion, then we have seen the idols of so many devis and devtas, like Vishnu is there, Shankarji is there, Deviya like Durga Mataji is there, Saraswati Mataji is there, Amba Devi ji is there, Ganesh ji is there, Hanuman ji is there, and we are worshipping these deities on a daily basis. And we are putting the pictures of these deities in our small, temples in our houses, and we are making a corner, or we visit the temples of these deities. The temples are made on a very high level in India, in particular. So who are these deities? So who amongst you will consider, who amongst these deities will you consider as the god? So let me tell you a small story. Yeah, so it's a very interesting story to listen. Once there was a Brahmin, and that Brahmin was having a child, and that child got very ill one day. He was found to have cancer. So the Brahmin went to the doctor, and he wanted the doctor to cure his child. But doctor said the cancer, this disease of his has got out of control now. So it is not possible. So the disease of the doctor has become out of control. The disease of this child has become out of control now. So it is the cancer of this child is now incurable. I can't cure it. So it is better that you remember God. So Brahmin was confused that whom should I remember? So because Brahmin was a very big devotee of Lord Krishna, so he started remembering Lord Krishna. And then, when he, for 1 week continuously, he was remembering Lord Krishna. Then, nothing happened to the child, no benefit happened to the child, the disease wasn't cured. Then someone, from the neighborhood visited his place, and he said, why are you worshipping Lord Krishna? Lord Krishna instead of remembering Lord Krishna, you should remember Durga Mataji, because she is the one who's the, world bestower. She's the one who's Kalyankari. She has got a lot of power with her. She can definitely cure your child. So instead of remembering Lord Krishna, start remembering Goddess Durga. And that Brahmin, from that time, he started remembering Goddess Durga. And for 1 week he was remembering Goddess Durga. And for 1 week he has lit the candles, the aarti of Goddess Krishna. He was commemorating the bhajans of Goddess Krishna, and all those things that were required. He was doing all of it, and nothing happened to the child. The child was still facing the same disease. And then someone other from the neighborhood visited him, and then when he discussed with him about the problem that he was facing, that person said, why are you remembering Goddess Durga? You should remember Hanumanji. You should remember Hanumanji, because Hanumanji is Sankat Mochan. So he is the one who is going to take away all the Sankat from you. He is going to remove all your sorrows. He's the one who's a real, the person who will take everything. So the cancer is going to go if you remember Hanuman Chalisa and repeat Hanuman Chalisa on a daily basis. So the Brahmin was really amazed. Yes, Sankat Mochan is Hanumanji. So instead of remembering Goddess Durga, I should remember Hanumanji. So on a daily basis, he started, repeating and reading Hanuman Chalisa several times in a day. So he did that for 2, 3 days again, and nothing happened to the child. Then someone from his family visited him, and you know what he said? A person visiting from his family, he said, "Why are you remembering Hanumanji? You should remember Ganeshji. He is Vigna Vinashak. All your vignas, all your obstacles will go away if you remember Lord Ganesha." So just start remembering God, Lord Ganesha. You should have remembered Lord Ganesha from the very beginning, but now you stopped remembering Lord Ganesha. So this is not going to work. So he said, okay, from now I will be remembering Lord Ganesha now. So he started remembering Lord Ganesha now. So what happened? 2, 3 for 2, 3 days he was chanting the bhajans of Lord Ganesha. He was remembering Lord Ganesha, and he was doing all of this, changing one and another god after few days. And then someone else visited him, and he said, "It is all in vain. You don't have to remember any deity. Nothing is going to happen. I have one Babaji who has just visited a village, the nearby village. That Babaji is miraculous. He has got a lot of power in his hands. So he is going to give a bhabut to you. And if you will just have the bhabut from Babaji and give that bhabut to your child will be cured and the cancer will go away." So he visited that Babaji, and he brought that bhabut from Babaji. And by the time he gave that bhabut to his child, the child was gone. He died. You know. So can any one of you tell me that what was the reason of the child dying? What was the reason of the child dying? So what was the moral of this story? So I want to ask, what was the moral of the story? So I am unmuting you, all of you. You can unmute yourself and just answer me. What was the reason the child died?
Did the answer? Did it was why he didn't
It was
didn't he didn't pray Shiv Baba because his child died.
okay. He didn't pray Shiv Baba. He didn't remember Shiv Baba. That is why his
Didi,
child
can I
died.
tell? No,
Yeah.
Didi.
No, there was some other reason
Didi,
why the
can I
child
tell?
died. What was the reason?
Didi, can I tell?
What was the reason?
Didi, can I tell? Didi, can I tell?
Yes.
Didi, the
One
child,
person at a time. One
Didi, the
child at a
child,
time.
Didi, the child died because the person was not praying to God with full shraddha. Ma'am, and by on others' favor, he was changing the gods, praying. He was not
Yes.
believing in one God.
Yes, he was not believing. He was not believing in God. He changed his God, by just someone else's suggestion. He changed all his approach. He changed
Give
everything.
the wrong
And
medicine.
Didi, the moral is that
Baba give the wrong thing.
Yes. What is the moral of the story?
Didi, that
Didi,
there is only one God.
Yes.
One God.
There should be one God.
God.
We should
many
believe in
gods,
one
then
God.
it will not be equal to
अपनी
pray
श्रद्धा से
God.
You
करना
got
चाहिए,
my point.
आधा अधूरा
All
नहीं
of you,
करना
I think,
चाहिए.
got my point. So I am muting all of you now once again. So let us just continue with the session. Okay, I think all of you now got my point. So what I am trying to tell you here is that when we are seeing all these deities, sometimes what happens, we become confused that who's the real God. For example, you have a family of yours, right? You have how many people you will be having in your family? You will be having your mother, you will be having your father, you will be having your siblings, and then you will be having your relatives also sometimes living with you in your family. You will be having your cousins, you will be having your chacha, your mama, your kaka, dada, dadi, chachi, and so many other people who will be living with you in one family. So when there is a family, there is always what? There is always a head of the family. So in your family, who is the head? You always seek the permission of that one person, so that all the rest of the decisions particular to that house, that home, can be taken. So whichever home you go, wherever you go, you will find a head of the family. Okay, if suppose there are 10 members in a family, there has to be a head, na? The one who is going to take decisions for the rest of the others. So now, as we see these deities in our daily lives, who's the head of all these deities? If these deities are a one big family, if we say Vishnu ji, Shankar ji, Deviya, Parvati ji, Lakshmi ji, Durga, goddess Durga, Lord Ganesha, Lord Hanuman, if they all are one family, then who's the head of all of them? So it's a big question mark. So if if for suppose if there is a head, then what is the purpose of remembering each and every one of them? We can just approach the head and we can just have the solution to all our problems. So then we won't have to go via to all these deities and then find solution, because I think each and every person has got different powers. For example, your father has got different powers, your chacha has got different powers, your uncles and aunts have got different powers, your mother has got different power, as a child you have got different power. So we say that Lord Ganesha is the child of Lord Shankar. So children have got less power than the father or the mother. So if we are going to approach Lord Ganesha, then why are we approaching Lord Ganesha? We should go and seek help from Lord Shankara, because he is the father. So why do we have to remember each and every one? So it's, if it is a big family, then who is the head of the deities? So in Hindu religion in particular, we see that there are 33 crore deities. 33 crore deities. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine how many deities we have? Yeah, it's written in our scriptures that in Hindu religion we are having 33 crore deities being worshipped, and each and every family of India in particular is having a Kul Devata or a Kul Devi, and we all worship those Kul Devata and Kul Devi. So we all are worshipping those 33 crore deities. Now, who is the head of all these deities? So this is a very big question mark. So let's move on. Now, next conception about God is the religious founders. So let us go, beyond India. Let us go far from India. Then we see the whole world, what the whole world believes about God. So there are very big, huge, the magnanimity of the religions that we see in the world existing today. The biggest religions that exist and that cross boundaries, and they have acquired a lot of land. Those religions, we all are seeing here right now on your screens. These religious founders have, when they were gone, big religions were established, like Islam or Muslim religion. Then Buddhism is a very big religion. Then Mahavir Jainism is a very big religion. Christianity is a very big religion. And then Sikhism is a very big religion. So, and not just this, there are a lot many other religions also. I'm just telling you about the big religions, the main religions that exist, the main faiths that are there right now, in the world. So here we see these religions have captured the entire globe, and they are now running everything. So we, on the name of God, are creating our own rules, our own policies, our own regulations, and we are making people to follow all of that. And we are fighting for our religion. And it is because of the fights, because of the religions, that we are having lot of boundaries and lot of, division happening in the society. We are not united, but we are divided now. We are having fights between countries over faiths, that who's big and who's small. So all this is happening. So now when we go deep into the religions, when we see these religious founders, the motive and the purpose of coming of these religious founders was not to create division, was not to divide us. They wanted all of us to show the path of God. For example, Ibrahim, Buddha, Mahavir, Jesus Christ, and Guru Nanak Ji, they all pointed to the supreme power. They all said, we are showing you to the path of God. We all want you to connect to the supreme power. But what we believed, that these religious founders, they are the one who are forms of God. So we started worshiping them. Nowadays we believe Jesus Christ is the God. Nowadays we believe Guru Nanak is the Satguru and he's the God. Nowadays we worship Ram Mahavira. We have put idols of Mahavira. We nowadays in Buddhism, we are worshiping Lord Buddha as one of the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. And then we are seeing in Islam that where what Ibrahim has shown, the paths or whatever teachings he gave. So we are having a different understanding of God, which was given by all of them, and now we are divided. And moving on, now we are having some saints also showing us the path. Yes, Madhviji. Okay, and okay, so now we are also having different saints who try to show us the path to God, and that is we have seen Shankaracharya, who established sannyas religion, and Swami Narayan temples. We are seeing, in Delhi there is a very big temple of Swami Narayan. It's called Akshardham. In Ahmedabad also we have big temples of Swami Narayan, and this is Gujarat is a prominent place for the Swami Narayan temples. And now we see the Swami Narayan temples growing on a daily basis, where we see Swami Narayan as the main person who's now being worshipped there, and the idol is put in each and every temple. And then we see the saint called Saint Xavier's, where we see Saint Xavier's churches everywhere in the world. We see Khwaja Sharif. When we go to Khwaja Sharif, he was a very big saint. And then Sai Baba. I think many of you worship Sai Baba and believe that Sai Baba is going to solve your problems. And similarly, these saints also, they try to show us the path to God, but no one reached to the path of God. And who is God? The question still remains the same. And then we are having another concept, that nature is God. So we are seeing people nowadays worshipping nature, worshipping animals, worshipping rivers, worshipping fire, worshipping the sun, moon, worshipping the trees. So we all now have seen all this happening in the world today, that we nowadays worship cow. Cow is the Gau Mata. So we worship cow. We worship the fire. Why we worship all these elements now, and why we worship animals? Because they try to give us something. Whoever is giving us light and might, whoever is giving us something for our living, we consider that as God. So we started worshiping the 5 elements also. We started worshiping the animals also. But are these also forms of God? Is the nature also God? We can consider nature as God. So that is again a very big question. So we'll have to think about it. Now, who else is God? So now sometimes we say work is worship. So there are nowadays, the technology has advanced to such a great level now. So we consider work is my worship. So my career is my worship. So I will be working hard to achieve everything. I do not need God. So what happens? So what happens? We see nowadays people working very hard day and night, and they do not want any supreme power, any power at all. They find that my life is in my hand. But nowadays, whose life in his or her hand? No one's life in their hand. It is, everything is happening as per the drama, as per the story that is written, a script. Then we are seeing people nowadays worshipping the spirits or the evil souls. You must have seen a lot of horror movies where the people are worshipping the skull and the spirits. They are calling the spirits the evil spirits, and they are those spirits are fulfilling their unwanted their different kind of desires. So in order to fulfill our desires, we have crossed all the extents, crossed all the limits. And now the other concepts, other misconceptions about gods are there, that are given by that God is omnipresent, God is everywhere, God, what the scriptures have suggested us. So sometimes we even worship the scriptures. For example, we worship Gita, we worship Guru Granth Sahib, we worship the Vedas. So we are worshipping the scriptures also, thinking that these scriptures are now going to show us the path. And then there is another concept of God which says God is Nirakar. Nirakar means God is not having any shape, no form. God is not existing at all. So the God is Nirakar means he's not having any shape, any form. So that is also a concept about God. So what is the truth? So let me just tell you a small story now. What happens? So whoever is raising the hand in the session, so I just want to tell you, we shall be answering all your questions and all your concerns. Even if you want to say something, I will give you chance to say. So let us first finish the chapter, this session, so that we can have all the understanding later. Okay, this is a small story. There was a man who was reading a newspaper, and when he was reading a newspaper, there were small columns about there was a spiritual page in the newspaper where there were different columns in the newspaper. And when he went through all those columns in the newspaper, he found out that there are so many concepts about God. What in one column someone was saying nature is God. In the another column, a person wrote that soul is God. Atma so Paramatma. So the soul is God. The soul is God. So Atma so Paramatma. Soul becomes God. Soul is doing practice and it is becoming God. And in another column, it was written Brahma is God. The soul becomes, merged with the Brahma element, and Brahma is the God. So Brahma is what? Then in the other column, it was written God is omnipresent. God is everywhere. Wherever you see, each and every atom is having God in this world. Each and every element is having God. So God is omnipresent. Then in the another column, it was written deities are forms of God. Deities, whoever we saw through, all these deities are gods. Then God doesn't have any name or form. God is not existing. He's not having any shape. He's not having any name also. So, and the last thing, God is an illusion. God is an illusion. There is nothing like God. God is the biggest misconception. So because there was so many things written, so in the last, when the confusion was crossing the extent, there was a lot of confusion. Then someone said there is nothing like God. So God is the biggest illusion of the world. So with all these things written in the spiritual page of a newspaper, can you really imagine what would have happened to this person? What would have happened? So will he be believing in God, or will he be not believing in God? Will he be thinking it is all useless to even think about God or talk about God? So his whatever he studied, whatever he read about all in these columns, then what conclusion, to what conclusion he will go to? He will be completely confused, right? So now let us go and listen to another story. We are having an elephant here, and we are having 5 blind persons. So these, I think this story you already must have heard quite a lot of time now. So what happens in this story? So I am going to tell you this story in a different way now. So what happens? There was an elephant, and the elephant was in the zoo, of course, and these 5 blind persons, they want to experience that how an elephant looks like. What exactly is the shape of an elephant, what is the feel of an elephant. So they wanted to have an experience of it. So they went to the zoo and to see the elephant, and when they all came in front of the elephant, they started to touch it. So one blind person, he touched the tusk, he touched the what you can the trunk of the elephant. And when he touched the trunk of the elephant, he actually felt that elephant looks like a snake. Huh? And then another blind person, when he touched the ear of the elephant, he felt that elephant looks like a fan. And then when another one, he climbed up to the elephant and he touched his stomach, and he felt elephant is just like a wall. And this another fellow, the blind person, when he touched the tail of the elephant, he felt elephant is just like a rope. And this the last one, when he touched the leg of the elephant, he felt the elephant is like a pillar. So all these 5 blind persons were having their own experience of the elephant. They were not knowing what exactly the elephant looks like, but they all tried to experience what elephant is like. So whoever touched the elephant, they reached out to the different parts of the elephant, and they experienced in a different way. One thought that it is like a snake, another one thought it's like a fan, and then a kind of a wall, kind of a rope, kind of a pillar, kind of a pillar, and kind of a wall. So they all had this experience. Now what happened? These 5 blind people, then they left the zoo, and they went to see the another 6th person who was also blind. So when they met that 6th person, they told him their experience about what the elephant actually looks like. So that 6th person, when he listened to all these persons, then he make out what kind of animal is this elephant. He's changing his shape continuously. Sometimes he becomes snake, at the next moment he becomes a fan, in the next moment he becomes a wall, and then he changes his shape and he becomes a what? He becomes a rope, and then again he changes his shape and he becomes a pillar. So what a different kind of person, what a different kind of an animal it is. This is an animal which is actually having multi personality, or maybe it's a different animal which can change his shape, its shape very frequently. So it is kind of a miraculous animal, which is changing its shape so frequently. So then this person, this 6th blind person, he believed in it, that this elephant is a very miraculous kind of an animal who becomes snake, then he becomes a fan, then he becomes a wall, and then he becomes a rope, and then he becomes a pillar. Then he went to see the 7th blind person, who was residing in a city, and that blind person was little educated. So when he went to see that 7th blind person, he told him everything, that I just encountered a very important information. And that 7th person asked him, what is that information? So he said, I inquired about elephant. I came to know that elephant is actually a multi, faceted, or a multi image kind of an animal who can change his shape very frequently. So he becomes snake, he becomes fan, he becomes wall, he becomes a rope, and then he becomes a pillar. So these are all part of his personality. So he changes his shape very frequently. So and if animal is a miraculous kind of elephant is a miraculous kind of an animal. So, and you know what that seventh blind person said? He said, I am an educated person. There is no animal like that who can change his shape so frequently. So this is all rubbish. I do not believe in all this. I think elephant is a different kind of an animal. He is an animal, but I don't believe all this. So that was what was the moral of this story. I think all of you children are so educated now, and all of you are actually studying and living in cities. Now, if your parents or someone from your family is going to tell you that God is actually someone who can change his shape and who can change his form very frequently. Sometimes he becomes Hanuman, sometimes he becomes Krishna, sometimes he becomes goddess Durga, sometimes he becomes Sai Baba, sometimes he becomes fire, sometimes he becomes water, sometimes he becomes sun, sometimes he becomes like a skull, sometimes he becomes like a demon. So will you be believing in all this? Huh? Will you be believing in all this? So can is God kind of because we all believe or think that God is also miraculous. So God can also change his form so frequently, so frequently. For me, God becomes an elephant. For me, for the other person, the God becomes a monkey. Huh? So because we have shown different forms of God, no? We remember God in the form of elephant also. We remember Lord Ganesha. We remember God in the form of monkey also. So God changes his form and becomes a monkey. He becomes Hanuman. And then we are having different forms of God everywhere. So how is this happening? So is this possible? So will you be believing in all this? So those who are educated nowadays, that is the reason why they don't believe in all this. And that is the reason why we do not have faith put in God anymore. And that is the reason why people are now so much away from God, because we do not know who God is, and no one shows us the correct path. No one tells us that what is the real form of God and what is the real name of God. So we all can understand from this that God should be one. God should have one form. God should have one name. The meanings of those names can be different. For example, my name is Shivika. So my name is fixed. This is my official name. Wherever I go, I will tell my name is Shivika. I will sign by my name Shivika. That doesn't mean my name has got different meanings. My name has got meaning called Goddess Durga. My name means Goddess Parvati. My name means so many other different meanings of my name exist. But that doesn't mean that I will be signing Goddess Durga, I will be signing Goddess Parvati somewhere else. No, my official name is one. So similarly, you all have got one official name. So wherever you will go, you will find that name of yours. And you have one form, right? You have one form. That one form is point of light. This physical form is changing. You are right now a child, but when you will be grown up, your face will be matured more, right? So the face is going to change because it is the five elements that are changing. But the form of the soul, the point of light is never going to change. This form is permanent. Similarly, God also has got one form, one name, and one existence. Okay, so what is that? So as we just went through this story, so the question arises now, who can be God? So I will give you I will give you 5 important standards now. You all have, yeah, all are studying science, right? I think most of you will be studying science now. You all will be having science as subject. I don't know how many of you are in 11th or 12th, or how many of you have taken commerce or arts, but we all have studied science up till 10th class, right? So now in science, whenever we have to prove something, that this is right or this is wrong, science always will give you standards that you can follow. So based on those standards, we are making different theorems. For example, you must have heard about Newton's third law. What is Newton's third law? Can any one of you tell me what is Newton's third law? Yes. Okay, I am unmuting you. You can unmute yourself and tell me.
Didi, may I?
Yes.
Every action has an equal and
To every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. Okay. So this is Newton's third law. So the law is concrete. You can't break the law. Something which is concrete means you can't break it. It is a standard. So to every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. So this is concrete, a standard. So now all our calculations will be made according to this standard, right? So therefore, there are big scientists who have given us these laws, which are guiding us in making decisions. Similarly, right now, I am going to give you 5 laws. 5 laws that can help you to decide who is God. Do you want those standards? Yeah, laws can always direct us in making good decisions. So if I'm going to give you 5 laws or 5 standards that will guide you who is God, then it becomes very easy for you to actually, justify, or you can actually discern what is right and what is wrong, who can be God and who can't be God, who's right and who's wrong. No one can misguide you in your life about God, about what to believe and not to believe, if you will be following these 5 standards. Okay, so let us see what are those 5 standards. So first standard is God. If there is any God, the God is omniscient. Omniscient means the knower of everything. He knows everything that is happening in the world. He is the ocean of knowledge. He knows about everything. So omniscient, God is omniscient means sarvakya. So knower of everything. Second standard is God is almighty, Sarv Shaktiman, the one who is the mightiest of all, the one who is the Sarv Shaktiman. No one is more powerful than God. He is the most powerful entity in the world. So just think about this thing, that who is the most powerful entity. So there is no one above God. Everyone's power lies below God. So God is the most powerful entity, almighty authority. Then the third standard is He is the supreme. He is the supreme power. Supreme means He is the father of all the fathers of the world. He is the supreme teacher of all the teachers of the world. He is the guru, the supreme guru of all the gurus of the world. He is beyond everyone. He is above everyone. God is not having any teacher. God should not have any father. God should not have any mother. God should not have any guru. He is the supreme Sarvoch authority, which means no one is above him. He is on the top of hierarchy. He is put in at the top of hierarchy. He's the head of everyone. So is not having any father or mother. He's not having any teacher. He is not having any guru. He is the ultimate guru. He is the supreme teacher. He is the supreme father, the supreme mother. Okay, so that is the third standard. Okay, now the fourth standard is God is beyond all, sarvopari. He is beyond everything, sarvopari. So he is sarvopari means beyond everything, means he is the one who doesn't come into any of the cycle of this world. You know, sarvopari means he doesn't come into the cycle of birth and death. He is beyond the cycle of birth and death. He cannot take birth, he cannot die, he cannot leave the body. So he is not having his own body. He cannot take birth from the mother's womb. So if God is going to come and take birth from mother's womb, then he will have to follow the directions or the laws of the nature. He will have to become a child, and as a child he will have a mother and father. But God is the supreme, so he cannot take birth also. So he is beyond the cycle of birth and death. Secondly, he is beyond the cycle of sukh and dukh, happiness and sorrows. He doesn't experience happiness in his life. He doesn't experience sorrows in his life. So he is not having a life, if I may say so. There is no kind of life for God. So he's ocean of happiness. He gives happiness to everyone, but it doesn't mean that he is experiencing happiness and sorrows by coming into a life in the form of a human being. Third thing is he is beyond what paap and punya ka circle, the circle of good and bad, the circle of getting something and then letting go something. So he is beyond the circle of paap and punya. So he is not committing any crime and he is not donating anything. So he is not earning anything in return. So because the law of karma is not applicable on God. So God is akarta abhogata, which means he is someone who is not doing anything. He is not involved in any kind of karma, which is very much common with all of us. So he doesn't have to take care of his children. He doesn't have to work so that he can earn his living. So all those karma that we are doing, he doesn't have to study. He doesn't have to go to school. He doesn't have to, pass examinations. He doesn't have to think about his family. So all these things that we are doing, God doesn't have to think and get himself involved in all those karma. So that is why law of karma is not applicable on God. He is beyond the law of karma. He is beyond the law of birth and death. He is beyond all the laws of nature. Okay, so that is the fourth, the very important standard about God. That the fifth standard of God is universally accepted. There should be, people of all religion, should believe in the existence of God if we talk about a particular name and form. For example, if I say God's name is this, the meaning of this name is this, and God's form is this. So each and everyone who's there in the world, they should accept it that yes, this is the clear form of God's name and a clear God's, form. So the God's existence, God's name is form should be something which we all, people of all religion have agreed to. So what is that form? What is that name that we all believe in? what we, what we mutually believe, what is actually said in all the religions about God. We all have mentioned something which is very common. Something is common in all the religions that they all are talking about, that they all are, signifying or giving a cue that who can be God. So God should be universally accepted. It doesn't mean that if we say Lord Krishna is God, then in Hinduism we believe Lord Krishna is God, but when we go to Christianity, as a Christian, I won't believe Lord Krishna is God. I would say Jesus Christ is God. So how can Lord Krishna be God if a person of Christian origin is not believing in it? How can a Muslim is not going to believe that Lord Krishna is God? He would say, no, Allah is not Lord Krishna. Allah is someone different. So a person, the God's entity is something that should not be questionable in terms of names and forms. So it is something which should be common for each and every one. And all should accept it, that yes, this is the true form of God and this is the real name of God. So now what is that? So it is the point of light form, the point of light form, the Nirakar, the Jyoti Bindu, the light form of God, which is universally accepted, which is something which is beyond everything, which is beyond our understanding and comprehension, something which is supreme, something which is the Almighty, something that is omniscient, the knower of everything. So we shall be seeing all this in detail. So what is the true form of God? What is the true form of God? It is the point of light form. So God is in Nirakar, Jyoti Bindu, point of light. So how this point of light form is actually it actually fulfills all the 5 standards that we just saw. It's going to be a beautiful session. Tomorrow we will be seeing. But the point of light form, it is the incorporeal, the Nirakar, the eternal form of God. And what is the name of God? The name is Shiva. So what is actually, there are different names of God that we see in the world. What are those names? Some say God as Jehovah. Some say God as God Father. Some say God as Allah. Some say Ekonkar. Some say Khuda. Some say Ishwar. Some say Bhagwan. And some say El Shaddai. So there are a lot many names of God in different religions. But the real name of God is Shiva. Why Shiva? Now, why do we have the God's name as Shiva? And now you would say, this is a Hinduism's name. God is called Shiva in Hinduism. So how can we say that this name is accepted by all the religions? So let me tell you that the meaning of Shiva is actually not belonging to a religion. Hinduism is not actually a religion. We shall be taking that concept later. But when we say about Hinduism, in Hinduism, we mention God's name as Shiva because Shiva is a Sanskrit word. The meaning of Shiva is the bestower of happiness, Kalyankari. So the meaning in Sanskrit of Shiva is point, seed, benefactor. And this point, all these can be described by one single word. So if we are saying God as Shiva, that means we are actually saying that the name, the form, the wisdom, the nature, and the actions of the God are point of light, Nirakar, the benefactor. So the single name justifies each and everything about God. It is a cumulative word, it is the word which is having everything. Shiva means point, Shiva means seed, Shiva means the world benefactor. So the name, the form, wisdom, nature, and actions, each and everything comes in just one name, Shiva. So that is why God is having this name. So this is the official name of God. So whenever the God will come on earth, he will call himself as Shiva only. and he will be remembered as Shiva only. So we call God as Jehovah, God Father, Allah, Ikonkar, Khuda, Ishwar. All these are synonyms of Shiva. All these have also got the same meaning as Shiva. So El Shaddai, so real name of God is Shiva. Okay. So what are actually the similarities? So this thing we will be seeing tomorrow. So right now it is 8 o'clock. So we are open to questions. So I think today we discussed about the different forms of God. Okay, what exactly who is God, and what are the different standards. On the basis of those standards we can judge that who is God. Okay, so let me just finish today's session. Yeah, so if we are now open for the questions. So I'm unmuting all of you. Yes, if there are any questions, just let me know. Yes, Pratiksha has raised her hand. Yes, Pratiksha, please go on.
Did it benefactor means?
Benefactor means someone who is benefiting you every time, giving you something every time. Someone whom you can always go and ask, and he is going to give you that. So that is the benefactor, someone who benefits each and every one. For example, your parents are your benefactor. So they benefit you, they pay for your studies, they pay for your career, they pay for your life. So they are taking care of you, they are giving you love, they are giving you protection, security, everything. They take care of you. So they both are benefactors for you. Similarly, God is the benefactor for each and every soul of the world. Okay.
Okay, Didi.
Okay, any other question?
Didi, I have a question.
Yeah.
Didi, what is the difference between Shiv and Shankar?
Okay, so what the difference between Shiv and Shankar we shall be seeing in tomorrow's session, because it's about breaking misconceptions. Okay, so we shall be talking about Shiv and Shankar tomorrow.
Didi,
Yes.
how do God help us?
Okay, how can God help us? So what help do you need in order to have a real help from God? Because he is our father, he is our mother, he is our friend. We can have all the relations with the supreme father, with God. So if suppose you need anything as a if suppose you want God as your brother, you want to seek God's help as a brother or as a sister or as a mother or as a father or as a friend, you can call him and ask him for help. I need a brother right now, can you be my brother? I want a father right now, can you be my supreme father? I need a sister now, can you be my dear sister? I need a friend now, so can you be my friend? So God can help you in with all the relations, the relation that you will make with him. Okay, and whatever help you require, whatever help, the only thing that is required is you need to have a clean and clear heart. So if you're having your heart clean and clear, if you have a mercy inside your heart, if you have a kind heart, if you whatever you have in your head is clean and clear, it should not be for your personal benefit, it should be benefit for each and every one. if you are if you are selfish and asking something just for you, then God is not going to help you. So for that, you need to have a very clean and clear heart. You need to have kindness inside you, mercy inside you. Then God will listen to you, because God listens to, the clear, the open-hearted children. So whatever, if you have a lot of innocence inside, if you have a clarity inside your heart, if you have a clean heart, if you have love inside your heart for everyone, then God is definitely going to fulfill whatever you want. Okay. Any other question? So is there anyone who wants to dance? I heard that someone wants to dance. We have little time today. So if there is anyone who wants to dance,
Dance. I want to do dance.
okay, let's start. What's your name?
Didi Kamya.
Kamya. Okay, Kamya, you can, okay, Kamya, I spotlighted you.
Everyone.
You can start dancing now.
I want to dance with everyone.
You want to dance with everyone?
Yes.
Okay, we all are dancing. So play the music. What music do you want me to play?
दीदी उड़न खटोला
Udan Khatola. What is that music?
एक पंजाबी सॉन्ग है बाबा का ही
Baba
Okay.
song.
दीदी उड़न खटोला मेरे दादा का
Udan Khatola.
मेरे बाबा का
खटोला मेरे बाबा का. I can't find that song on YouTube. If any one of you is having that song, you can share it or play it.
दीदी अर्पित अंकित को कोहोस्ट बना दीजिए वो सॉन्ग प्ले कर देंगे
अच्छा, अर्पित और अंकित.
यस
ठीक
दोनों
है.
साथ में ही है
ओके.
दोहा
ठीक है,
कतर
बना दिया है उनको.
अर्पित अंकित आप लोग सॉन्ग प्ले करिए अर्पित आप कर रहे हो ना ऑन करिए आपको का कोहोस्ट है आप माइक ऑन कर लेंगे
थोड़ी देर
हाँ करो
बर्ड
तब तक किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो पूछ लीजिए तो
If anyone is having any question, you can ask by the time the song plays.
No Didi.
Okay.
No, Didi, no questions.
So what was today's session clear to everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
Didi.
Didi.
It was good.
Yes, Didi.
Yes Didi. Yes Didi.
Yes, Didi.
Yes Didi. Yes Didi. Yes Didi. Yes Didi. Yes
Okay, thank you.
Didi. Yes Didi.
Yes, Arpit ji. Play the song. Unmute yourself, I think. Or you're sharing the song. Okay, you're sharing it. Good. Share it fast. We are running out of time. Good. Yes, Kamya ji. And everyone can dance now.
उड़न खटोला चल पे आज न चलना है ओ चढ़ जाओ उड़न खटोला खटोला मेरे दाता दाजी ने चलना है ओ चढ़ जाओ उड़न खटोला मेरे दाता दाजी ने चलना है ओ चढ़ जाओ है रब कोल लेके जावेगा रब को लेके जावेगा रब होती ओनू बठावेगा नाल लाड भी पूरे लटावेगा उड़न खटोला मेरे दाता दाजी ने चलना है ओ चढ़ जाओ उड़न खटोला मेरे दाता दाजी ने चलना है ओ चढ़ जाओ खुशियां दा भंडारीए ओ सब कुछ देंदा वारीए ओ खुशियां दा भंडारीए ओ सब कुछ देंदा वारीए महिमा गाउंदियां सारियां रूहां महिमा गाउंदियां सारियां रूहां लीला सब तो न्यारी जी न्यारी उड़न खटोला मेरे दाता दाजी ने चलना है ओ चढ़ जाओ उड़न खटोला मेरे दाता दाजी ने चलना है ओ चढ़ जाओ जगदा वालिए हर पासे उस दी लालिए ओ सारे जगदा वालिए हर पासे उस दी लालिए चम चम कर दियां ओदियां किरना चम चम कर दियां ओदियां किरना सारे जग नू पाउंदियां ने जी पाउंदियां ने उड़न खटोला मेरे दाता दाजी ने चलना है ओ चढ़ जाओ उड़न खटोला मेरे दाता दाजी ने चलना है ओ चढ़ चलना है ओ चढ़ चलना है ओ चढ़ जाओ
I have the song of Baba. Can I play that, please?
Yes, please.
हर पल हर दिन तुझसे यही कहूँ बाबा मैं best friend बाबा my best कोई जादू मुस्कुराती रहूं वंदे मेरा साथ वंदे तेरा प्यार बाबा my best friend बाबा my best friend मुझसे ज्यादा लकी कोई नहीं बाबा my best friend बाबा my best friend हर पल हर दिन तुझसे यही कहूँ बाबा my best friend बाबा my best friend बाबा my best friend बाबा my best friend
दोस्तों सुना आपने
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank
That
you,
was
Didi.
really nice. I'm so, overwhelmed to see all of you dancing. Even I was feeling like dancing with all of you. Thank you so much. That was really fun. That was really fun.
Thank you a lot, Didi.
Thank you, ma'am.
We loved your session today. You told us what's the real concept of a god. We were too confused. How many gods are there of different religions? You told us a nice story on that. That once upon a time there was a Brahmin.
We love this class.
One day he got to know that there was a high level cancer of him. He went to the doctor and asked for the cure of it. The doctor replied that there is no cure for that. He was very upset and he trusted Lord Krishna too much. He prayed Lord Krishna for a week, but nothing happened. The cancer remained the same. Once his neighbor came to his house and said that, "Why are you worshipping Lord Krishna? You might worship Durga Ma. That's the goddess and she will help you cure your child." He did all the thing, bhajans, aartis for a week, but nothing happened again. Next week, another neighbor came of him and said, "Why are you worshipping goddess Durga? You shall worship God Ganesha. He is the Vignarta. He will help you make away all the vignas from your house." He worshipped Lord Ganesha for a week. He did all the things required again, but nothing happened again. So this happened again and again. But one day his son died. This was because he didn't believe in one God. He kept changing all his gods. If he had believed in one, his son would be cured today. So there should be one God. And there are too many deities there, like Abrahama, Lord Buddha, Mahavira, Christ, Guru Nanak Ji. And there are 33 crores deities in this world. Which should we trust? So, like this only, there are different saints also. The question again and again comes, who is the God? Shankaracharya, Swaminarayan, Sant Kabir, Kavaj, Sai Baba. Difference are there. Then we saw people worshipping nature, tree, sun, river, fire and animal. But who is the God? So now everyone thought that it would be work. Work is worship. So they started that my work will give me all the things. So they started doing all the best of their work. Some thought that it's omnipresent, spirits, and they started also worshipping them. They worship the sculpture, but the God is only one, Nirakar. We also told us a story that a man was reading the newspaper. In that it was written that we should worship nature. Nature is God. Soul is the God. Brahmas is is a God. God is omnipresent. The deity is a God. God doesn't have a name. God is illusion. At last, when there were so many confusions in that, so they thought that the God is a big illusion. So we should have one God. We will be confused if there would be much gods. Then you told again a story. That was in which there were 5 blinds. And
स्टॉप
first,
करो रिद्धि, स्टॉप करो.
okay, Didi. Thank you a lot, Didi, for this wonderful session. Loved it a lot. There were many stories and these helped us learn too much. Thank you for this session again.
Thank you, Riddhi. Thanks for all the things that you just said and summarized the whole thing. Okay. So we will be learning about more things tomorrow and we will be breaking a lot of myths tomorrow in tomorrow's session. Okay. Okay. Bye for now. Good night. Om Shanti.
Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti, Didi.
Didi, good night.
Good night. Bye.